Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about giving tips and ideas for taking a great adventure or vacation within Japan or internationally nearby.
Yeah, on a limited budget. Today we've got a couple of main points. The first one is flight tips, hotel tips, excursion/outing tips, and food tips and eating out.
Okay, so we'll start with the flight tips. Within Japan, some of the better promotions around summer and maybe winter, depending on where you're going, are going to be Peach Airlines, Vanilla Airlines, and Jetstar for tickets.
Right, they're smaller airlines. They're not your big name, so they're going to be cheaper overall.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, we were looking at flights to like areas within Japan, and we were seeing flights as low as one way from Tokyo to Osaka for around $50 or about 5,000 yen. So that's really cheap. Like that's way cheaper than taking like a Shinkansen from Tokyo to Osaka, you know.
Right.
So those are like amazing opportunities. So if you see that chance, I would take it if you want to go visit another city.
Yeah. So hit up those cheap airlines like that. You can do a little research on that. And then keep an eye out for summer deals and promos. There are different times of the year, like he said in Japan, that there are deals. So, you know, if you want to take a trip, especially during the summer, maybe start looking from a month or two in advance and see what's going to happen soon. You know, what deals are going to have.
Yeah, and sometimes maybe you have an idea you want to go visit this city or that city, but you're not really seeing any kind of sales or promotions going on for those. I would say try to be flexible with what you want to go see, you know. If you can't go to your city, let the promotion choose what city you should visit, you know, that way you can save some more money that way.
Right, yeah, so be flexible with location, and then also be flexible with dates. Of course, you know, we all have like those ideal dates. We want to fly out on a Friday and we want to fly back on
away.
Right, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you have to fly out on a Monday. So just kind of be flexible with dates. I know we looked at Peach Airline and it was really conveniently laid out where you could see the price difference between flying out the day that you chose and the day before and then the day after. So sometimes, you know, you can changing it to flying out on, you know, a Tuesday instead of a Monday, it could make it just a big price
like
difference.
A $20 difference or something.
Right. So just be flexible with that.
Yeah. And another one, of course, probably everyone knows, is just a pack light. That will help you on your trip so you're not getting some extra fees, overweight fees, but also help you for your trip back once you're done with your holiday. Maybe you buy some souvenirs or some nice gifts. You have that extra space to put in your luggage so you don't go overweight, or you have room at least, you know.
Right.
So that's some nice flight tips right there.
Yeah.
Do you have any more ideas?
Oh yeah, and if you pack light, that also means that you're not taking a taxi because your bags aren't that heavy. And with the really cheap airlines like Peach and Vanilla Air, the price doesn't include like a checked bag because, you know, they're trying to keep costs low. So, you know, if you want to check a bag, if you want to check 2 bags or something like that, that's going to cost more. So keeping, you know, your luggage kind of light will save you money with the ticket too.
Yeah, definitely. And the last one for the flight, which leads into the hotel, you know, within Japan you can do by plane, by Shinkansen, by train. There's also night buses. So if you do take a night bus, as the name implies, you can leave the day before at night, like at 10 o'clock at night, and you can arrive the following morning in your city like 8 or 10 in the morning, which is really cheap, really convenient for a lot of people. But if you have a hotel or hostel, sometimes they don't let you check in until 3 in the afternoon. So if that doesn't really bother you, if you don't mind being out and about for like a couple hours before you have to check in, you know, then that might be another great opportunity for you. But if you don't like that, you want to go right to your hotel right away, drop off all your stuff, then maybe taking the night bus is not really a good option for you.
Yeah, but like you said, there's a lot of options. You know, you can take the Shinkansen or the regular train. There's just so many options in Japan.
Yeah.
But we chose flying.
Okay. All right, so tip 2 on our list of tips is our hotel tips. And the first one, of course, everyone would love to have is a good, clean area to sleep. So I would definitely look online from like TripAdvisor.com or Hotels.com and just read a lot of reviews. You don't necessarily need to go get a great hotel, you know, look at hostels or other situations. But yeah, that's how we decided a little bit. We looked at reviews more so than like stars or anything like that.
Right. And so the first thing you want to look at when you look at reviews is, you know, look for something that's clean. You know, don't go for the swanky, you know, huge beds or something like that. Just go for something that's going to be clean. Hotels are really nice, but they tend to be a little pricier. So the next thing you want to look at is hostels and guest houses, and be open about that. Even hostels, I don't know what you picture when you picture a hostel, but it's not always, you know, 10 beds in a room. You know, sometimes you can get a private room for one person or two people or something like that. So yeah, keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Also, I have a friend that used Airbnb and loved it. So look around on Airbnb. Maybe if you're open with it, you can rent somebody's spare bedroom and save a lot of money that way.
Yeah. I would say a nice mindset to have is when you get a hotel, you're not really going to be staying in the hotel the whole time. You're only going there to sleep and to store your stuff, pretty much. So I wouldn't pay, you know, $200 per night for something you're only going to be sleeping in and being there for maybe an additional 2 hours, so maybe like 10 hours,
right.
You know. So definitely save some money and try to get a cheaper, clean hotel, you know.
Yeah.
And if you want privacy, you know, pay a little bit more for a hostel, but with privacy in it.
Okay, so next up is excursion/outing tips, because the next part of your trip is you're not going to be in the hotel, you've got to go somewhere, right? So the first thing you want to do is do some research and find the places that you can go that are free. Some museums, some like national museums, sometimes are free. Look for monuments you can go see, like nature you can go see, parks you can go see, and check those out first.
Yeah. Or shopping centers, like people, like for example, New York, a lot of people want to go to Times Square, but you're not really buying anything, you just want to go take in the atmosphere, you know? So maybe find like cool hubs like that.
Yeah, spots like that are good. The next thing, especially if you're in Japan, look for festivals. Summer festivals are happening all the time in all these different cities and all these different kinds of festivals. And festivals are really great because they don't cost money to go to. Food is cheap at festivals. You can take a lot of pictures, listen to music, take in the culture.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. So that's next.
Another thing to consider is just looking for coupons. A lot of places will especially have coupons for foreigners, so definitely take advantage of those. You can find coupons for restaurants, trains. If you're like already out of the country and you're coming to the country, you can even find even better coupons that way, like unlimited train usage and stuff like that.
Right.
So definitely look for coupons if you can.
Yeah. And the next thing is there are of course some places you want to visit that cost money. Certain museums, we want to go to Kyoto and the Imperial Palace costs money, things like that. So you want to prioritize, like decide the place that you really, really want to go to, can't miss, and then go from there.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you can't hit up all the places that cost money, you know, they can add up going to a museum, an aquarium, you know, different shows like that. So kind of decide what you have to see.
Yeah. Another tip for your excursions is really bring your good walking shoes, because let's say you have to take a train from point A to point B, but they're right next to each other, you know, just walk it out. It's not that far of a walk. For example, we walk a lot of the time when we're in Tokyo from Shibuya to Harajuku, to, you know, they're right next to each other. And another nice tip about that is that when you're walking from point A to point B instead of taking the train or a cab, you might find some hidden gems that you wouldn't have discovered. You know, you get to see some of the back streets of that town, you know.
Right. If you're traveling from outside of the country, take your passport with you when you're out shopping, especially in Japan. I don't know about other countries, but they'll exempt you from the tax if you've got your passport, which is a really sweet deal, especially if you want to buy some really cool techie things like that.
Yeah.
So keep your passport on hand.
Yeah. I know in Japan, if you want to get the tax-free stuff, I think you have to spend at least like $100 or 10,000 yen, so it has to be a certain limit. But yeah, so if you're buying electronics, for example, that's easily gonna go over $10,000 or $100 sometimes if you buy a camera or something like that. I bought my camera in Japan, so I got it tax-free.
Yeah.
Tip 4, our last tip, are the food tips. All right, and really quickly, if you're gonna go eat out, because eating out's amazing in this country, try to eat out for lunch if you can and avoid dinner, because lunch will be a lot cheaper than dinner is. We can get a lot of lunch sets. You'll get your main dish, an appetizer, and dessert sometimes, and you know, it'll be like $10 or 1,000 yen or something. But if you do that for dinner, there might not even be a set, and you have to buy it all individually.
Right, it's more expensive. And so for dinner, especially if you're in Japan, you want to hit up bento stores, bento shops, the convenience store. You can get really cheap 500 yen, you know, meals, and they'll fill you up, and you won't break the bank.
Yeah, so you'll find a lot of those, like she said, at grocery stores and whatnot. You also find them if you go shopping at night because they need to get rid of the food, so you can get even better discounts around then. Yeah, so if you want some more food, don't go to the restaurant. Go to a supermarket and get like a lunch meal.
The next thing is when you're looking for hotels, keep an eye out for hotels that are not too expensive but offer free breakfast. We looked for some that had free breakfast, and I feel like the breakfast, no matter like how small it is, it'll hold you over for like lunch. Like you won't want to be snacking or something like that. So it's a good way to save money.
Yeah, and another tip about food and a hotel combined is if you can get like a nice hotel or a cheaper hotel or a hostel even that comes with a fridge, because you might want to bring some snacks to eat during the night, or bring like maybe some bread or a sandwich for the breakfast the following morning if your hotel doesn't offer breakfast, so you save some time that way for the following day.
That's true. Or if you went to a festival and you bought some okonomiyaki and you didn't finish it, you can bring it back and store it and have it later or something like that. So a fridge is really useful for that.
A lot of places don't have fridges, at least for the cheaper options. So if you
so
find one that's cheap and has a fridge, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, take advantage. So that's it for our tips. We're taking a trip in the summer months, so these tips are like kind of what we use to plan our trip, and we're super stoked by the deal that we got.
Yeah,
so
just to give you an idea of what we're doing, we're taking 2 flights. One's domestic, one's international, and we got 2 or 3 hotels, I think, roughly in that neighborhood.
4 hotels. Well, 4 hotels. Yeah, 4 hotels.
4 hotels, and our trips are about $500 or $50,000 just for me, and then for her, of course, so it's doubled.
Yeah.
So about $1,000 or
100,000 yen.
Yeah. So it's really cheap, taking 2, and it's about 9 days, right?
Yeah, we're going for 9 days. So we think it's a sweet deal for like a hotel and the flights, because we're flying. We're not taking buses or anything like that. So it's a sweet deal, and we're pretty stoked.
Yeah, so definitely. And we're using Peach Airlines, by the way. This will be our first time. So once we're done taking it, we'll let you know how it is on the flight and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like the deals are amazing. If you want to go visit Thailand or Korea or Hong Kong, or even domestic like Sapporo or Osaka.
Hokkaido, Osaka, Kyoto. Yeah.
But with Peach, just to let you guys know, from Tokyo, they don't let you fly a lot of places. For us, we need to fly to Osaka, and then we need to take a connection flight from there to our next spot.
Right. That's the deal with these cheaper like airlines. You're limited, which is why we said be flexible about where you want to go. Yeah.
Yep. So that's it.
So we hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions, if you want more tips, or you have some tips for us, please post them in the comments. We'd love to read them.
All right. Well, until next time.
Bye.
Bye.